Okay, I just thought I'd do a little video on a distal bicep repair surgery, an injury that I had a few weeks ago. I've watched a fair few different clips and recovery time and surgeries, etc. And I haven't really seen anything like what mine has been like so far, so I thought I might post this. It might be interesting for people that are in my situation. So it must be nearly 2.5 weeks ago, I tore my distal bicep tendon off the bone in an injury. I just fell off the back of my ute and grabbed the rear rack and tore it. I knew straight away that it was a torn bicep. I could see it contracting up my arm. Wasn't a good feeling. Went straight to A&E. They basically confirmed roughly what I thought, and luckily everything went really smoothly for me, as in getting into the next steps. I was in within 3 days for a ultrasound which confirmed the torn tendon, and then in that afternoon to see the doctor, and he managed to get me into surgery on the Friday following the injury that was done on the Sunday. So it was only 5 days from injury to operation. So the operation I had, which I think from what I can tell is the newer, more modern way of fixing this injury, which is the endo button, where they drill through the top of the forearm and feed the button through, and then pull the tendon back into the bone. And yeah, I don't know if there's any particularly better than the other way, but it seems to be the way. This is the way this surgeon done it anyway, so that's the way I got mine done. Now, the thing that surprised me, which I was expecting to be in a cast or a brace for anywhere from 2 to sort of 6 weeks from what I'd read, is they sent me out in just a sling, and they told me to start basically using my arm, well, not using my arm, but moving my arm straight away as much as I could. I was very surprised at the lack of pain. I didn't have hardly any painkillers at all. I think the first night I got home, I had a painkiller, slow release painkiller that night, and then Panadol, just basic Panadol and Nurofen for 2 days, and a couple of anti-inflammatories, and I've had nothing since, and I've had very little pain since. I've been doing a lot of exercising, just pronating and supinating my wrist as much as I can. When I'm sitting there watching TV, I'm pumping my fist and moving my wrist backwards and forwards and rolling my wrist around. I've been lifting my arm over my shoulder, doing that a lot just to keep movement, and side to side a lot. And also one that the physio told me to do, to start doing as soon as I could, was just stretching my arm out, which I'm supposed to do that, supporting with the other hand. But there's very little pain there, and there's no weight in my hand, and I can almost get my arm out full stretch. So it's been, it'll be 2 weeks on a Friday, so it's not quite 2 weeks since I had the surgery. It'll be 2 weeks in 2 more days, so it's just under 2 weeks. And the recovery, I think, is going really well. I've been going for runs in the morning with my arm in a sling. I haven't been loading the arm up at all in any way. I'm keeping any weight out of it. Basically nothing heavier than a mobile phone in my hand. I'm really hoping to get back to full strength as quick as possible, but I know it's a long recovery period for this injury. But yeah, everything so far so well. So I'll give you maybe another update in a couple of weeks, see how it's going. I'll go back to the doctor on Monday week, which will be just over 2 weeks from the initial surgery, and start my physio as well then, and we'll see how the progress goes. So just a quick look at what happened. So they done this surgery on my arm there. There's the, hope you can see that. There's the cut that they made to repair it. Yeah, not too much else to say other than so far so good. and definitely nowhere near as bad as what I initially thought it was going to be, but let's not get too excited yet and jump the gun, get ahead of ourselves. A long way to go yet, but I'm hoping I'm a tradesman, work for myself. I'm hoping that I can be back at work, possibly on lighter duties, hopefully within 3 months, more realistically probably 6. But I can keep updated on this one. As I said, I haven't seen anyone else with a similar style of surgery and recovery method that they've given me, so this might be interesting to other people that have done the injury. Okay, keep you posted.